Alright, hi guys and good afternoon everyone and welcome to class. My name is Sourabh Mutha and we're looking at the Inter-Tax Fast Track course. Good afternoon everyone and I hope everyone's doing really well. Guys, today's session, although it says time of supply, we have a slightly different agenda. We've started the classes yesterday, just yesterday. We finished 2 sessions yesterday and we are going to move onwards to the next session today. I'll tell you what all happened on the first day. The first day, we finished something called Introduction to GST. Good afternoon, everyone. We also finished a chapter called Supply under GST. And we also started and finished a chapter called Value of Supply. And we also almost started with Charge of GST. With that, we did a lot of exemptions. That's all what happened on the first day. How are we looking at it? We are looking every day, guys, at a very super special agenda, guys, because we are looking at the concepts, plus we're looking at the quick book, plus we're looking at the ICI material, especially all the questions which are given in the ICI module or the ICI material. So that's the agenda even today. Guys, let me set the agenda first on the screen. What are we going to do today on day 2? We are going to finish the chapter called Charge of GST. This chapter has some RCM, has some composition scheme. We are going to finish that. Then we are going to go and do a chapter called registration. Then we are going to do a chapter called time of supply. And we are also looking at some exemptions today as well. So that is the agenda of day 2. I hope you are energized. I hope you had a good meal. Not big enough that it is dangerous, but right enough so that you are attentive and alert here. Alright. How do you present answers in the exam? Guys, once we finish the GST, we will write some answers and I'll show you how to present them also. But right now we're looking at concepts, question book, quick book and ICI material. Please remember, guys, this is a fast track course where we're trying to finish both GST and DT in 55 hours, considering that you can revise it as often as you want. So that is the idea behind doing this course. So this is today's agenda. Let's start with charge, then we move ahead. Everyone, just 1 second, slide theme. Perfect. Alright, while we put up anything ahead, I'm just going to recap the chapter called Charge of GST. Guys, we are starting off right now. A chapter should take us about 1.5 hours each chapter. That way we can do all the chapters in the time limit. So our time for Charge of GST starts now. Guys, when do you charge your phone? I charge it. Right now my phone's battery is 45%. So I'm waiting for which percentage to charge my battery, guys? 9, because section 9 talks about charge of GST. Section 9.1 and section 9.2 spoke about a charge of GST called FCM, whereby the supplier and the recipient both play a role. The recipient will bear the burden and the supplier will bear the headache of paying this GST to the government. Section 9.5 was basically only for e-commerce operators and not all of them, only 3 cases: notified services, HTH, housekeeping, taxi and hotel. And good revision there, whoever is revising, Chirag, good job there. The others also, whatever you can recollect, guys, typing in the chat box. And in these 3 cases, the e-commerce operator is liable to pay GST to the government. If the e-commerce operator is not in India, they have to nominate a person in India who will pay the liability. But guys, in the middle, 9.3 and 9.4 are 2 rock stars which will get you good marks in the exam because they are called RCM. In RCM, the supplier will supply, the recipient will receive, he will bear the burden, plus he will also bear the headache. So this is what happens under RCM. The recipient does the burden and the headache is borne by the recipient. So this we had already started yesterday. We spoke about some goods which are not important, but I set the stage up right for you. Chewing cashews, smoking tobacco bidi and using lottery. This is the shortcut for goods which are under RCM. If an agriculturist is supplying cotton or cashews, silk yarn, tobacco or tendu leaves for bidi, then he is supplying it to a registered person. The registered person is liable to pay GST. See, the government wants GST, that is for sure. Only thing is, because this guy is small and this guy is big, why not make him only pay? This is RCM. Same with the government also, guys. Government is very lazy, so hence the government is also trying to supply your used goods and your lottery, and in that case the recipient has to pay the GST. I hope that is clear, guys. Perfect. Moving ahead now. The others also, Chirag, Dhruti are contributing. The others also need to contribute, guys. Otherwise, guys, you might as well watch it recorded. If this is the live class fun, you got to be a part of the whole class. You got to be telling me whether you understood, not understood. All of that should happen in class. So give me a thumbs up, guys. Can we start ahead? Can we go ahead? Can we move ahead? Yes, yes, yes. Perfect, 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 perfect. Good job, guys. So here we go. We are now looking at continuing RCM. But RCM, please tell me, guys, who is the one who is relaxed in RCM? The supplier is relaxed. Because all the work is done by whom, guys? All the work is done by the recipient, and the supplier is very, very relaxed. So to do this, some lawyers did something that's a shortcut. Watch out the shortcut for RCM services. These services are all under RCM. Watch out very carefully, guys. Some lawyers, they were lending cars. They didn't have their own cars, so they took cars on rent. They were lending cars, and they met RBI, they met DIG of police, and they met the good government. So some lawyers took their cars and met RBI, DIG, good government. Why did they meet and where did they meet? They met at CCD. Guys, this is a shortcut for RCM services. They met at CCD. For what? They sponsored their breakfast. So basically, were they almost bribing them? No, they just sponsored their breakfast and they reversed the basic charge. So this is a shortcut for all the services which are under RCM. One by one, guys, this list we will knock off. You already might be having heard of RCM. This list will help you remember all of them together. So some lawyers lending cars met RBI, DIG, good government at CCD, sponsored breakfast and reversed basic charge. Guys, any of these services could be in the exam, and in this services, guys, please tell me, will there be GST? Yes. But who is going to be paying the GST, guys? Not the supplier. The recipient will be paying the GST. So this is the concept of RCM. Let's see one by one. The first one, guys, is S. Let's start with the first one. The first one is security service. So this is a security service provider. And what services is he providing? He is providing security services to a registered entity. Now in this case, guys, the government says, listen, we want GST on it. But the supplier is very small, and hence why don't you do one thing? The burden and the headache is on this person. Is this under RCM, guys? Yes, this is under RCM, but only one condition: the supplier should not be a company. That means, guys, can the supplier be an individual, HUF, partnership firm? Yes. LLP, yes, but they cannot be a company. That means the supplier should be small. Perfect. Guys, second, lawyers. We discussed legal services yesterday, guys. As an exemption, please tell me, when lawyers provide services to the government, is it exempt? Yes. When they provide services to you because you punch someone's face, is that exempt? Yes. When they provide it to small business entities, is it exempt? Yes. When they provide it to each other, is it exempt except senior advocate? Yes. But when they provide to big business entities, is it taxable? Yes, it is taxable. So this is legal services which is taxable. So please tell me, guys, does the government want GST? Yes, guys, the government wants GST, but the lawyer will not pay, guys. Here the supplier is a lawyer. Guys, the lawyer didn't want to pay it. They were on the life easy. So who will they collect it from? They will collect it from the recipient. The burden and the headache is on the recipient. Please tell me, guys, is legal services also under RCM? Yes, it is also under RCM. All right. So quickly recapping, security services, that is the first one under RCM, but the condition is the supplier should not be a company. Legal services, if it's not exempt, if it's a big business entity, then it's not exempt, then will it be taxable? Yes, and again under RCM. Guys, I'm going to ask one last time, please tell me, in all these services is there GST? Yes, but who's going to be paying it? The recipient is going to be paying it. So be participative. Let's do this, guys. Two of them done. Let's move to the third one. Lending. Guys, can you lend your car to Zoom cars and make money? Yes, same way you can also, if you are an investor, you can also lend your securities. Yes, just like you would lend your car, you can lend your securities to a SEBI registered broker or intermediary. And guys, when you lend your car to Zoom car, will you take money? Yes. So when you lend your securities to the broker, will you take money? Yes, you will take money. Guys, is this a service? Yes. So on this, does the government want GST? Yes, the government is very greedy, guys. They want GST, but the investors can be small also, and hence the burden and the headache is on these intermediaries. Is this lending of securities under RCM? Yes, it is under RCM. Guys, for the government, does it matter who's paying the GST? For the restaurateur, does it matter who's paying it, you or your parents? No, guys, it doesn't matter to them, but we still have to study RCM really well. So some lawyers lending cars. Now we are at cars. Let's see what is this cars. Guys, this is a car rental agency. We've all hired a car rental agency whenever we have to go to Tirupati or Lonavala or somewhere outstation, guys. Have you hired a car renting agency? Yes. They give you a car with fuel, and this is you. Guys, please tell me, is this a service? Yes. On that, will the government want GST? Yes, but it is under RCM, so the government will tell the recipient to pay, but there are some conditions. The supplier should not be a company. That means, can it be an individual, HUF, partnership firm? Yes, but company it cannot be. And the recipient has to be a company, and it has to be a car. So do you see a common C there, guys? C, C, C. The supplier should not be a C, the recipient should be a C, and it should be a car with fuel. Guys, this is also under RCM. Next, MET. Guys, do you like music? Yes. And do you think music composers should focus only on music and not on paying GST and GST returns, etc.? Even the government thinks like you, guys. So the government says, listen, music composer, whenever you're selling your music or your copyright to a music composition company like T Series, etc., with music, your photographers also, artists also, guys. The government says, listen, this is a service you're giving to an entity or to a recipient. Please tell me, guys, does the government want GST on this? Is the government greedy? Yes, they want GST, but they don't want the music composer to pay. So who will pay, guys? The recipient will bear the burden and the headache. Excellent answers there, Dhruti, Chirag, Rakesh, good job. The others also, guys, you got to participate and be a part of this. This also is under RCM. So guys, this one, some lawyers lending cars, MET. Next, guys, there's something additional in cars. I'll tell you when there is something. They also have another option. I'll tell you in some time, but right now I'm just putting a star mark. Next, RBI. Guys, we know RBI is the banker of banks. Does RBI keep a lookout on the entire banking sector in India, guys? Do they keep a look on the entire banking sector? Yes. So there is an overseeing committee. What does this committee do? They look around for any, and they keep a vigil or a watch on all the banks, and they submit their report to RBI regularly. These overseeing committee guys are very senior bankers who keep a look, and they tell you, oh yes bank, there's some problem, oh this bank, there is some problem. Are they giving services to RBI, guys? Please tell me. Yes. Will the government want GST on this? Definitely yes, but these overseeing committee members are very small. RBI is very big, so RBI has to pay the GST under RCM. Guys, look how the suppliers are all easy here because they don't have to do anything. The recipients have to do all the hard work. Next, D. Guys, please tell me a director in a company. I'm not talking about a music director or a movie director. I'm talking about director of a company. Guys, a director of a company, will he get salary? Yes. If he gets salary, is there subject to GST? No, guys, there is no GST on salary. Salary or anything received under a contract of employment, there is nothing. No, there is nothing. No GST on that. But guys, can a director give other services also for which he will get sitting fees, commission, etc.? So that means anything other than salary. Yes, anything other than salary when he gets. Is he providing a service to the company? Yes. Does the government want GST on this? Yes. But the director can be a small person, guys. The company is a bigger person, so burden and headache again on the company. So this is D, but please remember, guys, not on salary, everything other than salary. Next, I. Guys, do we buy insurance from an agent? Yes, we buy insurance from an agent. And is he providing services to an insurance company by selling their policy? Yes. And will he charge commission for that? Yes. Now on this service, guys, does the government want GST? Answer is yes. But the agent can be a small person, can be a big person. So to avoid that, they say the insurance company, you are very big, the burden and headache both are on you. Guys, the agent can be an individual, it can be a partnership, there is no restriction on that. Restriction was only on two entities till now. The securities firm should be small and the car lending should be small. Alright. So we're done with D, I, and now we're looking at G. Very, very important, guys. Watch out. G is Goods Transport Agency. Just 1 second. Thank you. Guys, G is Goods Transport Agency. So let's have a look at what GTA is. Guys, do you know what is a GTA, a Goods Transport Agency? Yes. They transport your goods in trucks, etc. on the road, and they give you a consignment note. It's not like a small tempo, guys, who will take your things from one place to the other. It's a big vehicle or it's a sizable vehicle and they give you a consignment note. We will study the exemption today of goods transport. But GTA, guys, please tell me yes or no. Do they go by road? Is it transport by road? Yes. And do they issue a consignment note to you that we are taking our goods, etc.? Yes. So when they provide services, guys, please tell me if they provide services to registered persons and also unregistered partnership firms. And whenever I say partnership firm, I also mean LLPs. Guys, whenever they provide services to registered firms or unregistered partnership firms, please tell me on this service, does the government want GST? Yes. But just like the music composer is focusing on music, the GTA is focusing on the road, guys. So the government says, listen, you don't pay, I will make this guy pay. The burden and the headache is on this guy. Guys, registered persons are registered, so they can bear the burden and the headache. But what about unregistered partnership firms? Will they have to register and then pay the GST? Yes, guys. Just like you cannot install Paytm unless you have a smartphone, you have to buy the smartphone and then install Paytm. Same way, unregistered partnership firm will register and will pay, but they will have to. Yes, they will have to. Alright. Now, please tell me here, will GTA pay any GST to the government, guys? Please tell me here, will the GTA pay any GST to the government? No. So if they don't pay any GST, can they take any credit, guys? No, guys. But what if they are a big goods transport company and they have bought laptops and every different things and they want to take credit? Do they have an option? Yes, they have an option. If they want to pay and take credit, guys, they also have an option. Let's talk about that option. They can also pay under FCM. Guys, so can they pay under both RCM as well as FCM? Yes. If it's RCM, the rate will be just 5%. Is that a good thing? Yes guys, if it's CGST, SGST, then 2.5%. It's a very good, very low rate. But guys, what is the negative? You will not get ITC, they will not get ITC. But under FCM guys, the rate is 12%. Is that a bad thing guys? The rate becomes higher. Yes, but the good thing is you can take ITC. Guys, do you know what is yin and yang, good and bad? Two sides of the coin. Same way, two sides of the coin here. One is a good thing, one is a bad thing. One is a good thing, one is a bad thing. So this is what it is. So in the exam guys, if they write 6% GST, which mechanism are they using? FCM, excellent. So the GTA will be paying, yes. What if they write 2.5%? Then it's RCM and the registered person will be paying. But whether it's 5% or whether it's 12%, who's smiling guys? The government is always smiling, whatever happens, however it happens. Alright, so we're done with GTA. We'll discuss GTA more in an exemption today, but GTA done. Next, good government. Guys, please tell me, is the government very lazy? Is the government very lazy? Yes guys, they are greedy as well as they are lazy. So when they provide services, mostly the services are exempt. Guys, whenever last you went for a driving license, did you pay some money to the government? Yes, but they don't charge GST guys. So here in this case guys, they don't charge you GST. So most of the government services are exempt. But certain cases guys, the government says there will be GST, they are taxable. But please tell me guys, does the government want to collect money, pay it, bear the headache? Do you think the government wants to do all of that? No, they have lots of things to do. In Mumbai, the entire Mumbai is full of potholes, they have to repair those. So they have lots of other work to do. So they tell the recipient that, listen recipient, why don't you do one thing? Why don't you pay the GST under RCM, but only if it's taxable. Guys, what if it's exempt? Then no RCM, no FCM, nothing. What if it's taxable? Then the recipient will pay. But guys, there are three things in which the government will become very active. They are actually lazy, but they will become active only in three services. The shortcut is PAT. So when you pat the government guys, will they become active? So in three cases, they will become active. What are these three cases guys? Whenever they give postal services, like speed post. Guys, do you pay GST on speed post? Yes. Do you bear the burden? Yes. Do you pay to the postal government, postal department? Yes. And do they pay it ahead? Yes. So in postal service, in aircraft and vessel leasing, that is renting, that service, and in transport of passengers and goods, that service, the government becomes active. So there are three services where the government becomes active. Let me repeat this guys. Guys, government providing services, usually are they exempt? Please tell me, usually government services, are they exempt? Yes. If it's exempt, what will apply? FCM, RCM, nothing will apply. But if it's taxable, mostly guys, is the government lazy? Yes. So who will pay the GST? The recipient. But when does the government become active guys? What do you have to do to them to they become active? You have to pat them. So basically the shortcut is PAT. Postal, aviation, that is airline and vessel leasing, and transport of which guys, transport of passengers and goods. If it's taxable, then the government will pay. Only these three the government will pay. Alright. Next guys is good government. So here it is. We go now to the good government. So government, one part is done. Next again government comes. Government, there are two parts. Let's see the next part also. Guys, here the government is giving another service. So there are twice the government appears. But this is specifically renting of immobile property. Guys, does the government have a lot of property? And can they rent that property like an extra building in a commercial complex? Yes. And when they rent it, R for renting, R for registered persons to registered persons, then in that case guys, government will say, listen, GST on this we have to pay, but we are too lazy. So who will pay the GST on this guys? The registered persons will pay. So let's differentiate, guys. In both the cases, are they both suppliers? Is the both suppliers government only, guys? Yes. In the first, it is all the services which are taxable, and in the second case, it is only one service, guys, renting of immovable property. R for renting, R for registered person. If it's a registered person, the registered person will pay GST under RCM. Alright, so that is also done. Next, A. Guys, anyone here reads books besides the CA books, of course? Anyone here reads books? Yes. Do you have a favorite author? I love reading books, guys, and this is my favorite author. Guys, do I want him to sell his books to publication companies so I can read it? Yes. But do I want him to focus on GST and etc.? No, guys, I want him to focus on the next book. So when he's providing a service to the publication company, does the government want GST on this? Yes. But they don't want to push the author. Just 1 second. Yes? Yes? No, thank you. So they don't want the author to pay all this, guys. So what they do is they tell the publisher that, listen, why don't you bear the burden and the headache and keep the author free? Guys, is the government happy that they've got the GST? Yes. And is the author still focusing on his book? Yes. But here also, guys, there is an option. Just like DIG, G had an option. Here also, author also had an option. Please watch, guys. Guys, is the author going to pay any GST to the government? No. So will he get any credits, guys? No. But what if he's a big author, guys, and he wants to take credit of the laptop that he's buying, etc., etc.? Then does he have an option? Yes, he has an option. He has an option to pay under FCM, but there are 3 conditions to it. First condition. Guys, does he now have to charge GST to the publishing company? So will he have to intimate the publishing company that he is under FCM? Yes. Will he have to register himself, guys? Because if he's not registered, can he collect GST? No. So he has to register, he has to intimate, and he has to be under this FCM option for 1 year. He has to be under this option for at least 1 year from the date he opts for this option. So please tell me, guys, do authors have this option of paying under FCM? Yes, they have an option of paying under FCM. 3 conditions: register, intimate, and 1 year. Alright, moving ahead, guys. Here it is. Next, tribunal. Guys, tribunal services I'm not discussing because tribunal services is exactly like legal services. So it has the same RCM. So tribunal services is the same, not even similar, it's the same as legal services. Next, C, C, D. Let's discuss C and C. Both are construction company. Guys, this is you and you have a huge bungalow or a plot of land, but you don't want to develop it, you don't want to make a building on it, you like the bungalow open. So can you sell your development rights to a builder or a construction company, guys? Can you give your transferable development rights? Can you transfer it to a builder? Or can you give your free space index to the builder? Yes. Then in these cases, guys, please tell me, are you giving a service? Yes, because you're not selling it, you're just giving it to him, and then it's a service, you're giving it to him. Then in that case, guys, does the government want GST on this? Of course, guys, the GST government is very greedy. They want GST on this. But what if you're small? What if you're not registered? This construction company is big. So hence the government says, listen, construction company, you will pay the GST on this under RCM. Excellent, guys. So this is TDR and FSI, and the construction company will pay the GST on this. This is the first C, first construction. Next. Guys, what if instead of giving them TDR or FSI, what if, can you give your land to them on a long-term lease? Long-term basically means more than 30 years. Are you giving a service to them? Yes, guys, you're not selling it. It's the title is not getting transferred, so it is a service. And on this, guys, does the government want GST? Yes. but you can be small, you can be unregistered. So the government tells him, listen, why don't you pay it under RCM? Guys, what if instead of long-term lease you were selling your land? Then would there be GST on selling of land, guys? No, because not even goods. But this is not selling, this is long-term lease, and this is TDR and FSI. Next, D. Guys, how do you know that the bank has come up with a new mutual fund, or they have come with a new fixed deposit or securities? There are some people called direct selling agents. They will send you a WhatsApp that, sir, we've come up with a new product or mutual fund, etc. Guys, so do they provide a service to banks, financial institutions and NBFCs by selling their products? Yes, they provide a service just like an insurance agent provides services to insurance companies. These direct selling agents, they provide a service to banks, financial institutions and NBFCs. Please tell me, guys, does the government want GST on this service? Yes, but the direct selling agent is too small, and hence they tell the bank that, listen, you pay under RCM. Alright, guys, here the only condition is this guy has to be an individual. So is there a condition here? Yes, this has to be very small. This guy has to be an individual. Perfect. Guys, looking at the next one already, sponsorship services. Guys, this one I want to first question you if you understand sponsorship well. Guys, this is IPL, and they are giving Vivo, of course now Vivo has changed to Tata, they are giving Vivo sponsorship, and Vivo is paying 100 crore rupees. Please tell me here, who's the supplier and who's the recipient of sponsorship services? Who's the supplier? IPL? Yes, because I have written it there, guys, otherwise it's confusing. If you are ever confused with who's the supplier, let me give you a shortcut. The supplier is the one who receives the money. Who's going to receive the money? IPL is going to receive the money, so they are the suppliers. Alright, now guys, I am talking about sponsorship services now. This is Pro Kabaddi League. They are coming up with a new season and they want sponsorship. What if they go to Unacademy, guys? And Unacademy, this is a service. Yes, sponsorship services. Does the government want GST on this? Yes. They tell the recipient, listen, you are very big, why don't you pay GST under RCM? But there's a condition now on the recipient this time, very unique, guys. On the recipient will pay under RCM only if it's a company or a partnership firm. When I say partnership firm, I'm also including what, guys? I'm also always including LLP. So this RCM will work only if it's a company or a partnership firm, guys. Is Unacademy a company? Sorting Hat Technologies Private Limited? Yes. Alright. But I'm giving you an example, guys. What if it's not Unacademy? What if they come to Aryan Khan and they tell Aryan Khan, why don't you give us sponsorship service? Aryan Khan says, okay. On this sponsorship services, does the government want GST? Yes. But is Aryan Khan a company or a partnership firm? No. So then will the government say, no, I don't want GST? No, they will want GST, but who will pay it, guys? It will be under FCM. See, the government is very smart. Will the restaurateur say, okay, son, you don't have the money, so I don't want money? No, they'll want money. But if son can't pay, then father has to pay. If daughter can't pay, mother has to pay. So basically, someone will have to pay. So RCM applies only when the recipient is who, guys? Please tell me in the chat box. RCM will apply only if the sponsorship service recipient is a company or a partnership firm. That means they are big. Alright. Next, guys, breakfast. This is someone called business facilitator, and this is someone called bank correspondent. I'm discussing both of them together, guys. Watch out. Business facilitator and bank correspondent. Guys, a business facilitator or a bank correspondent, the job is almost similar. Please tell me, in India, do we need banking facilities to reach the remotest parts of India? Yes, but it's not possible for a bank to go to every corner of India. So what they do is they appoint BF and BCs business facilitator and bank correspondents, and they help spread banking services across India. So guys, are they giving us services to a bank? Yes. Guys, does the government want GST on this? Yes, but who will pay? These guys are very small, the suppliers, so the recipient will pay under RCM. I'm going to do an exemption also here only, guys. What if this bank is in a rural area, guys? What if this is a rural branch? Then these services are exempt because the government doesn't want anyone to pay in this. So I'm doing an exemption already here. Guys, please tell me, when BF and BC provide services to a rural branch of a bank, will there be any tax? No, it is exempt. Who has to be in rural area? The branch has to be in rural area. Guys, if it's exempt, will there be any FCM or any RCM? No, there will be no FCM, no RCM. But guys, on the other hand, guys, what if this is not a rural branch? Then will it be taxable? Yes. And who will pay? The bank will pay under RCM. And with that, guys, we have come to the last one, that is recovery agent. Please tell me, if you don't pay a bank, will they send recovery agents to your house? First to knock on the door and then to knock on your face? Yes, there are recovery agents, guys. Guys, please tell me, these recovery agents, do they provide services to a bank by helping them recover money? Yes. On this service, does the government want GST? Yes. Who will pay? The recovery agents can be small, like an individual, partnership firm, small entities. So the bank will pay under RCM. Guys, what if these are recovery agents of a gymnasium? Then the recovery agents will pay. What if they were recovery agents of a jeweler? Then recovery agents will pay. So RCM is only when, guys, who should be the recipient? A bank, a financial institution, or an NBFC. And last, guys, I told you 1 star mark, but now you know, guys, this cars, if you remember lending cars, car rental agency, guys, do you remember, this should not be a company, this should be a car, this should be a company? Yes. And is this under RCM? Yes. So please tell me, is a car rental company paying any GST? No. So will they be able to take any ITC? No. But what if they want to take ITC? Can they charge under FCM? Yes, they can also charge under FCM. Guys, this has to be anyone except a company, guys. Anyone except a company. Do they have option of FCM? Yes, they have option of FCM. So guys, car rentals have an option, GTA has an option, and authors have an option. They can switch RCM to FCM. They have an option. Guys, just like your car, do they have an option to switch from hybrid to electric? Maybe, maybe not. Not everyone has an option. So here only 3 people have an option: music composer, GTA, and author. Alright. Rakesh, I hope the question is answered. Car rental, if it's an individual, yes, it has to be anyone other than a company. Then RCM will apply. And if they want, can they take FCM? Yes, they can take FCM. Alright. Perfect, guys. And with that, we've completed all things around RCM. RCM is done. RCM goods are done. RCM services are done. Now, just wanting to understand, guys, when the direct selling agent, let's say, charges 10 lakh rupees, will he charge any GST in this case? No. Because who's paying? The recipient has to pay from his own pocket. So how much will the bank pay to the direct selling agent? 10 lakhs. And how much will he pay the government? 1.8 lakhs, assuming 18% GST. Yes. Guys, if this was under FCM, would you pay 11 lakh 80,000? Yes. So now that you're paying the government also, you have to pay through your cash ledger. You cannot pay through your credit ledger. I hope this is clear. That means, guys, FCM tax has to be paid only through which ledger? Please tell me in the chat box. FCM tax has to be paid only through which ledger? It has to be paid only through the cash ledger. Excellent. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Guys, done. Now we're looking at the last thing of this chapter, and then this chapter gets over. Please tell me, guys, is there a lot of work to do in GST? Charge your customers, take money, pay the government, take ITC, etc. And guys, does it make it expensive? Yes. Let's take a shoe company for example. this shoe company, guys, charges leather shoes, they sell for 1000 rupees, and on leather shoes, let's say GST is 28%. So how much after 28%, how much will the shoes become? 1280. Are they expensive, guys? Yes. Will you stop going to the shoe shop? Yes. So the shoe shop went to the government saying, listen government, I want a solution for this. I don't want to charge GST to the customers. So the government says, okay, you don't want to pay GST, then why don't you do one thing? We have a scheme under section 10.1 and 10.2 which is called the composition scheme. Why don't you take that scheme? So he said, I want to know what is a composition scheme, tell me about it. So they said, we'll give you a step-by-step procedure about this composition scheme, but first let's understand what is a composition scheme. The composition scheme says that you will only charge your value, you will not charge GST. So guys, is the government happy with this? No, they're not happy. So will you get any ITC, guys, or input tax credit on this? No. You remember give and take relationship. Also, guys, will you issue a tax invoice? No, you will issue a bill of supply. You will not issue a tax invoice on this. Guys, will you charge any GST to the customers? No. So they said it's perfect. I don't want to charge GST to the customers. I don't want my things to become expensive. This is perfect for me. And I don't even want ITC. It's okay. I'm purchasing my shoes from small cobblers. I don't want ITC. So I'm loving this scheme. Please tell me more about this scheme. Guys, please tell me here, how much was the government earning earlier? How much percent were they earning GST? 28%. And in this, is it a big drop? Yes. Let's see what this is. They say the first step to see if you can take up the composition scheme is you have to be trim. What is this trim, guys? You either have to be a trader. Trader means buying and selling goods. You have to be a restaurant service provider like McDonald's, or you have to be a manufacturer. Guys, is the shoe company a trader, restaurant service provider, manufacturer? Yes. They are buying shoes and selling, so they are traders. So can they take up the scheme? Yes, they are fulfilling first step. Second step, guys, is the government losing out a lot of money in this scheme? Yes. So they don't want the bigger players to take up this scheme. So this scheme is only for smaller players. How small? Guys, when your aggregate turnover is maximum up to 1.5 crores. Guys, aggregate turnover, what is the definition? I'll show you. But aggregate turnover right now, just imagine turnover is maximum up to how much? 1.5 crores. Guys, can Reliance Industries take this scheme? No, they can't, because their turnover is much above 1.5 crores. And in the northeastern states, this limit becomes 75 lakhs. Guys, are northeastern states smaller? Yes, so the limit is also smaller. The limit is 75 lakhs. Except, guys, Assam is a big state, so Assam is not included in this list, but Uttarakhand is included. So northeastern states, excluding Assam but including Uttarakhand. Alright, so guys, please tell me, assume guys this shoe company is in Maharashtra and their turnover last year was 1.2 crore. Can they take up the scheme? Yes, they are trim and their turnover is up to 1.5 crore. So can they take up the scheme? Yes, they can take up the scheme. But guys, what if one entity was in Maharashtra and one entity was in the northeastern state? Then they can't, because northeastern state has a limit of 75 lakh. So even if one of the entities under the PAN is in the northeastern state, then the lower limit will apply. Yes, the lower limit will apply. I repeat again, guys. What if the shoe company had 3 branches? Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tripura. Then what limit will apply, guys? 75 lakh or 1.5 crore? 75 lakhs. Excellent. Alright. So here, guys, can they take up the scheme right now? Yes, they can take up the scheme right now. Congratulations, take up the scheme. But once you take up this scheme, guys, you cannot do 6 things which are given in step number 3. Please tell me, today is a Friday afternoon. Had you not been taking up CA and taking up this fast track course, guys, would you be watching a movie? Yes. But once you take up the scheme, guys, do you have to be here? Yes, same way. Once you take up the composition scheme, you cannot do 6 things. Can you do these 6 things before? Yes. But once you take up the scheme, you cannot do 6 things. What are these 6 things? Here we go, guys. You cannot be casually needing ice cream, and you cannot be studying income tax online. Guys, what are the 6 things that you cannot do once you've taken up the scheme? Can you do these 6 things before? Yes, once you take up the scheme, you cannot do. You cannot be a casual taxable person or a non-resident taxable person. Guys, do you remember a Delhi exhibition? If not, let me tell you, there was a Delhi exhibition of electric bikes and cars. Where is electric bike company, guys, registered? Electric bike company is registered in Maharashtra. Do they want to go to this exhibition, set up a stall there and sell their bikes from there? Yes. But are they registered in Delhi? No. So in Delhi, they will be called casual taxable person. Guys, I'm just going to explain this on a new sheet. Everyone watch out. What are these 2 terms? Let me explain them. Guys, where is electric bike company registered? Electric bike company is registered in Maharashtra. So can they sell in Maharashtra? Yes. Where is an exhibition held, guys? The exhibition is held in Delhi. This is an exhibition for electric cars and bikes. Guys, can EBC go to Delhi and set up a stall there? Yes. But when they set up a stall and they sell their bikes there, will they have to pay SGST, Delhi SGST? Yes. So in that case, guys, they will be called a casual taxable person. Casual taxable person is someone who is registered in one or more states but temporarily wants to make supply from another state. And in the same exhibition, guys, can Tesla, who is coming after going to 5 different countries, can Tesla also come to the Delhi exhibition and sell? And in that case, Tesla will be called an NRTP, non-resident taxable person. Alright. This Delhi exhibition is for 27 days. Just keep a shortcut in mind. And how many countries did Tesla go to before coming to India, guys? They went to 5 countries before they came to India. Alright. So guys, can a CTP or can an NRTP take the composition scheme? No, sorry, you cannot take, because CTP and NRTP cannot. Guys, what if you are supplying non-taxable goods? Then you cannot. Guys, what is non-taxable? Do you remember exempt as how many N's, guys? 3 N's. Non-taxable, nil, and notification. Notification you can still supply, nil you can still supply, but non-taxable, that is schedule 3, you cannot supply in this case. Guys, there are 4 prohibited items, which are the shortcut is PITA or PATI, whichever shortcut applies to you. That is pan masala, aerated water, tobacco and ice cream. Guys, please tell me what is the shortcut for prohibited goods, PITA or PATI. Pan masala, aerated water, tobacco and ice cream. Unfortunately, ice cream and aerated water like thumbs up are in prohibited goods. You cannot be manufacturing them. Guys, trading is allowed. Yes, trading is allowed. Manufacturing is not allowed. Next, you cannot be supplying services. Guys, is the shoe company supplying any services? No. So you cannot be supplying services except restaurant services. Guys, restaurant services you are allowed. You can take up the composition scheme. Otherwise, you cannot be supplying services. So can a CA firm take up the composition scheme? No, because they are supplying services. Next, guys, you cannot be supplying interstate. That means, guys, do you have to be small? Yes. And do you have to supply within the same state? Yes. So if shoe company, guys, has 2, Maharashtra also and Gujarat also, but Maharashtra only supplies within Maharashtra, Gujarat only supplies within Gujarat, can they take up this scheme? Yes. But what if Maharashtra supplies to Gujarat and other states? Then they can't take up the scheme, and you cannot be supplying online. So there are 6 things that you cannot do. Guys, before taking up the scheme, can you do these 6 things? Yes, but once you take up the scheme, you cannot do. So please repeat, guys, what are the 6 things that you cannot do once you take up the scheme? Casually needing ice cream, studying income tax online. Please tell me the main words, guys. You cannot be whom here? You cannot be a casual taxable person or non-resident taxable person. You cannot be supplying non-taxable supply. Nil is okay, notification is okay. You cannot be manufacturing ice cream PITA. You cannot be supplying services except restaurant services. You cannot be supplying interstate, and you cannot be supplying online. These are 6 things that you cannot do. Sorry. Perfect. Now guys, this is step 1, step 2, step 3. So how much tax do you pay? Guys, are you charging any 28% tax to the government now? No. So you need to charge only 1, 5 and 1% depending on where you are in trim. Traders 1%, restaurants 5% and manufacturers 1%, and that too guys, it is only intrastate. So 0.5, 0.5, 2.5, 2.5, that is what you will charge. So what is the percentage? 1, 5 and 1. But guys, if you're not charging it to your customers, how will you pay this 1, 5 and 1? You have to pay it from your own pocket. And guys, can you take any ITC? No. Give and take, you cannot take ITC. So in this case, you know the rates of GST, 1, 5 and 1. Can you take ITC? No, you cannot take ITC. Can you issue a tax invoice? No, you have to only issue a bill of supply. And guys, can you or would you want to get out of this scheme, guys? What is the biggest drawback of this scheme, guys? 1, 5 and 1 is beautiful, but what is the biggest drawback? You cannot take ITC. And what if you want to take ITC? Can you come out of the scheme? Yes, I'll tell you how do you come out of the scheme. There are 3 ways to come out of the scheme or to cancel this scheme. Let me tell you what are the 3 ways. First, you voluntarily opt out. You file an application online that I don't want to be in this scheme. Can you get out of the scheme? Yes, you can get out of the scheme. And guys, once you get out of the scheme, is the government going to be happy? Because will they get 28%? Yes. Next, can you cross the threshold of 1.5 crore or 75 lakhs? Yes. What if you cross it today, that is the 5th of August, then from today you're out of the scheme automatically? Yes. Within 7 days you have to tell the government that, listen government, I crossed the scheme, I crossed this limit, I'm out of the scheme. Or what if you're doing one of the 6 things, guys? That means, can you start selling online your shoes? Yes. So then you're out of the scheme. So this is voluntarily, this is because you're doing one of those things. And guys, can the GST officer also throw you out of the scheme if you don't belong here? Yes. Guys, if you go for a movie and you don't have a ticket and you go sit inside, will he throw it out? Yes, same way the GST officer will throw you out of this if you don't belong here. Example, you're a service provider, you don't belong here. Alright. Guys, please tell me here, are services allowed to be provided except restaurant services? No, but that was proving to be a big problem, because how do I repair shoes? I can't even repair shoes now. So the government introduced a concept called marginal services. They said, don't worry, you can now provide marginal services. Marginal means some services. How much? It is basically higher of a 10% of last year's turnover. Guys, last year's turnover was 1.2 crore. So 10% of that is 12 lakhs. Or B, that is 5 lakhs, whichever is more. So which is more in our example, guys? 12 lakh is more. So this is marginal services, guys. Marginal services means small services. So please tell me, casually needing ice cream, studying income tax online, can you provide services? No. Except 2. Can you provide restaurant services? Yes. And can you provide marginal services? Yes, you can provide marginal services. Alright, let me see if there's anything else. Rates done. Yes. When can you opt in this scheme, guys? You can opt in this scheme if you are not already registered. You can opt in this scheme today also. On 5th August, guys, can you opt in? Yes, you can opt in. But guys, if you're already registered and you want to switch the scheme, like you switch your mobile phone from loud to silent, then the switching can only happen on the 1st of April. That means, guys, on the start of the year. So if today I want to switch, can I switch on 5th August? No, I have to wait for the whole year. Next April, I'll have to switch. Alright. Withdrawal, no tax can be collected, bill of supply. Alright. Now guys, let's see the last point here, aggregate turnover. Guys, aggregate turnover first is to be seen per PAN. Guys, if under EBC's PAN we have 3 entities, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tripura, then guys, will aggregate turnover be seen entity wise or PAN wise? we have to see aggregate turnover pan wise, because the shortcut is one pan, one turnover. So what if this is 20 lakhs? What if this is 20 lakhs? What if this is 20 lakhs? Please tell me what limit will apply for Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tripura. It's Tripura, so 75 lakh limit. And what is my aggregate turnover now, guys? Aggregate turnover is 60 lakhs. So can I take up the scheme? Yes. But can I take it up only in Tripura, not in Maharashtra and Gujarat? No. One pan, one turnover, one scheme. That means if you take it up for one, you have to take it up for all the three. This is one pan, one turnover, one scheme. Are we clear with this, guys? And now what is aggregate turnover, guys? Aggregate turnover means there's a shortcut. Everything that you supply outside. Guys, please repeat. Aggregate turnover means everything that you supply dash outside. So what if it's interstate? Will I include it? Yes. What if it's intrastate? Will I include it? Yes. What if it's export? Will I include it to another country? Yes. What if it to the moon? Will I include that also? Yes. What if it's exempt supply? Will I include that also? Yes. What if it's taxable? Will I include that? Yes. Everything is a yes except four things, guys. I, G, N. These four things are not to be included. First, I. Anything inward is not to be included. Is that clear, guys? Next, if you put money in a bank, will they pay you interest? Yes. That interest not to be included. Any interest is not to be included. Inward is not to be included. Guys, what if on the taxable supply, because you were already registered, you had GST also, that GST you don't include. And guys, what if you're making schedule 3 supply? Do you remember schedule 3, guys? Employee, partner, director. What if you're making that kind of supply? That you don't include. So what are the four things that you will not include? I, G, N you will not include. Perfect. So let's quickly tell me, guys, one pan, one turnover. So will you look at turnover per entity or per pan? You will always look at it per pan. And once you are taking up this scheme, will you take up for all the pans or all the entities? Yes, you have to take up for all entities, one pan, one turnover on scheme. And aggregate turnover means everything that is outward except four things, guys. I, G, N. I promise you, this somewhere will be in your exam, aggregate turnover calculation. So this definition has to be very well understood. Guys, what if I am supplying petrol? Will it be included? Here people will go wrong immediately, guys. Yes, Vaishnav is saying no. I said Rakesh is also going wrong. No, Venkat is also going wrong. Guys, I said it. Whatever you supply outward, is petrol being supplied outward, or are you drinking petrol inward? You're supplying outward. Everything that is outward will be included. So now I'm asking again, guys, will diesel be included if you're supplying it? Yes. Everything outward. I'm telling you, most people will do a mistake even after me explaining this, because they will say, oh petrol, oh diesel. Nothing, guys, except I, G, N. N is non-taxable, that is schedule 3. Everything has to be included except this. Guys, this is great. We are almost reaching the end. Please tell me here, is this a great scheme of 1, 5 and 1% for small people? Yes, it's a great scheme. But guys, can a CA firm, can a tailor, can a salon take this scheme up? No, because we are not trim. We have to be trim. We are not trim. So then what to do? What to do is, there is another scheme under section 10(2)(a), which is basically a composition scheme for small service providers. What is the step here? When can I take the scheme? Step 1, guys, here also you're a salon. Can I take up the scheme? Let's see. You have to be a service provider, guys. Is a salon service provider? Yes. Step 2, your aggregate turnover should be up to 50 lakhs. Guys, last year's aggregate turnover of this salon was 45 lakhs. Can I take up this scheme? Yes. Step 3, once you take up the scheme, you cannot do 6 things. Casually needing ice cream, studying, income tax, online, same except services. Are you providing services? Yes, that is okay. Step 4, or not step 4, guys, what is the GST rate you will apply? Please tell me what is the GST rate in the earlier one, 10, 1, 1, 5 and 1%. This one is an addition of 2, 6%. 3% CGST, 3% SGST, because IGST you will not have because you cannot do interstate. Guys, can you charge GST to your customers? No. Can you take ITC? No. So how will you pay this 6%? You will pay from your own pocket. Guys, when will you get out of the scheme? Whenever you cross the threshold of 50 lakhs, or whenever you do any of this, or whenever you voluntarily get out, or whenever the GST officer throws you out. But this is not very popular, guys, because 6%, who's going to pay from their own pocket? I'd rather charge 18% to my customers. So hence this is not very popular. This is a scheme under section 10(2)(a). Perfect guys. Opening up the module now and the examination questions. So here we go. I'm uploading all the files now back to back. Here we are, fast track course, CA Inter. Perfect. Guys, this is the quick book. We are at the chapter called Charge of GST, which is here. Charge of GST. The entire chapter is discussed here. There is section 9(1), 9(2), 9(3), 9(3) again. 9(5) is here. HTH is here. Then trim is here. All outward supplies excluding IIGN. Northeastern states excluding Assam but including Uttarakhand. Casually needing ice cream, studying income tax online. All of this is here. Casually needing ice cream, studying income tax or inter online. Everything which we discussed is here, guys, in this chapter. These are links to your module questions and the examination questions. So let's now look at the module and the examination questions. Let me put up the module now. Next, after this, let me upload the module. Charge of GST. In the module, guys, similarly, one day before the exam, you will not get the time to do the module. So what do you do one day before the exam? You will do the questions, and the ones that you mark as difficult, those are the questions that you will do. I'm straight away going to the end first and doing all the module questions that we can find. Yes, guys, let's do this. State the person who is liable to pay GST in the following independent cases, provided recipient is located in India. Guys, you have to just tell me whether it's FCM or RCM. Services provided by an arbitrary tribunal to a business entity. Arbitrary tribunal is the same like legal services, guys. Who will pay under RCM? Sponsorship services provided by a company to an individual. Who is the recipient, guys? The recipient is Aryan Khan. So then who will pay? The company will pay under FCM. Lots of people have got this wrong, guys. Sponsorship services under RCM only if the recipient is a company or a partnership firm. I hope that is clear. Chirag Surbi, I hope that is clear. Perfect. Renting of immovable property by the government. Guys, does the government, is it lazy? Yes. R for renting, R for registered person. Is this under RCM? Yes, under RCM. Guys, I want more replies. Yes, if you're just watching, then you are not doing well in tax. You have to participate, otherwise you'll be just watching while ICI gives you marks also, guys. Vivek Goel, an independent director of A to Z Private Limited. So there is a director of a company called A to Z. Receives sitting fees amounting to 1 lakh. Is this salary, guys? No, this is not salary, this is sitting fees. Guys, is this under RCM? Yes, this is under RCM. Raghu Associates provides sponsorship services to VWin Cricket Academy and LLP. Guys, is it sponsorship services? Yes. And is the recipient a company or an LLP? Yes, this is also under RCM. Safe Trans, a goods transport agency, transported goods to Kapil and Company, a partnership firm, but which is not registered. Guys, I told you this GTA services, if provided even to an unregistered but only partnership firm unregistered, then still will it be under RCM? Yes. Guys, does the GTA have an option for FCM? Yes, 12%, but then they can take ITC. Legal fees is received by Shushrut, an advocate from Tatwa Trading Company, whose last year's turnover was more than 50 lakhs. Guys, that means, were they a big business entity? Yes. Guys, in that case, who will pay the GST? Lawyers are very smart. It will be under RCM. State the person liable to pay GST. Again, guys, you have to say FCM, RCM. Let's go. Services supplied by an insurance agent to an insurance company. Is this under RCM? Yes, this is under RCM. Services supplied by a recovery agent to a car dealer. Guys, the government wants GST here, but not car dealer is not under RCM. This is under FCM. Guys, why? Because it's recovery agent only of a bank, financial institution, NBFC is under RCM. Dhruti, Monica, I hope this is clear. Perfect. Security services, services provided by supply of security personnel provided to a registered person. Guys, is this under RCM? Yes, this is under RCM. Only thing is, the security service provider should be not a company, anything other than a company. Next. Very, very important question, guys. This one, 7th one. Sultan and Sons, a partnership firm in Nagpur, are the wholesaler of taxable product P and Q, which is exempt by notification. So what is Sultan and Sons supplying, guys? They are supplying two things. One is which is taxable, one is which is exempt. But what kind of exempt, guys? Notification exempt. Its aggregate turnover last year was 1.3 crores. The firm wishes to offer composition scheme. Guys, let's see if we can. Please tell me, first step, are they trim? Yes, they are a wholesaler of product P. So are they trim, guys? Yes, they are trim. Last year's turnover, guys, they are in Maharashtra. What is the turnover limit for them? 1.5 crores. Are they within 1.5 crores? Yes. And are they casually needing ice cream, studying income tax online? No, but someone will say that they are supplying non-taxable supply. No, guys, it's not non-taxable. It is notification supply. Are they different? Yes, they are different. So, can they opt for composition scheme? Yes, they can opt for composition scheme. Congratulations. But if they're already registered, now you'll have to switch only on the 1st of April. Guys, please tell me now, when they switch into composition scheme, will the government be happy? No, guys. So will they get ITC? No, they will not get ITC. But how much percentage they will pay? They will pay 1% because they are a wholesaler. Next, a person availing composition scheme under section 1(2) of section 10 during the financial year crosses 1.5 crore in the month of December. Will he be allowed to pay tax under composition scheme for the remaining part of the year? No, guys. The moment your turnover crosses 1.5, you're out of the scheme. And how will the government know you're out of the scheme? You get 7 days to tell the government through a love letter online that, listen, I'm out of the scheme. And when you're out of the scheme anyways, will the government be happy? Yes, guys, the government is very happy when you're out of the scheme. Next, determine whether the suppliers in the following cases are eligible for composition scheme. Very, very important. This one, guys. Mohan is engaged in trading pan masala in Rajasthan. Guys, DT will start on day 4. Today is day 2. DT will start on day 4. Guys, Mohan Enterprises engaged in trading of pan masala in Rajasthan. Guys, can he take up the composition scheme? He's trader. He's trim. Assuming his turnover is less than 1.5 crore. Guys, trading is okay. Manufacturing is not okay. Can he take up the composition scheme? Yes. Sugam has registered offices in Punjab and Haryana and supplies goods in the neighboring states. Guys, is he doing interstate supply? Yes, he cannot take up composition scheme. Subramaniam had 2 registered places in Delhi. His turnover last year was 1.2 crore. He wishes to pay composition scheme. Guys, can he take composition scheme? Yes, but only for one of the places. Guys, can he do that? No. 1 PAN, 1 turnover, 1 scheme, 1 aim, clearing CA Inter this November, guys. Perfect. Next, Mr. Ajay has a registered repair center where electronic goods are repaired. So guys, is he into supply of services? Yes. His repair center is located in the state of Rajasthan and he is not engaged in making interstate supply of services. Aggregate turnover last year is 45 lakh. Guys, can he take 10(1) and 10(2) scheme? No, sorry, that is only for trim people. So can he take 10(2)A at least? Yes, he can take 10(2)A because he's a service provider. Last year's turnover is 50 lakhs and he's not doing those 6 things anyways. But what is the tax that he have to pay? If his turnover current year is 35 lakh, he will have to pay 6% GST. And last, guys, Messrs United Electronics, a registered dealer supplying all types of electronic appliances in the state of Karnataka. Their aggregate turnover last year was 1.2 crore. Guys, can they take up the composition scheme under section 10.1 and 10.2? Yes, they can. And what if they want to give some small services, guys? Is marginal services now allowed? Yes. Last year's turnover was 10%, that is 12 lakhs or 5 lakhs, whichever is more. So which one is more, guys? 12 lakh is more. With that, guys, we've completed all the sums here. Now I'm going to the question bank. I'm going to add the question bank here. Here we go. This is the question bank. Let's see which chapter are we in. We're under charge of GST. Here we go, guys. Charge of GST. Enumerate the persons who are not eligible for composition scheme under section 10.2 of the CGST Act. Guys, what are the 6 people who are not allowed? Guys, this, if it comes for 5 marks, you have to celebrate in the exam, guys. Imagine this coming for 5 straight marks. Alright, I have multiple GSTN on one PAN, so not different scheme for different GSTN. No, you can't have different scheme for different GSTN. This is one PAN, one turnover, one scheme. Good question, Surabhi. Guys, coming back to this, who are the people or who cannot take composition scheme? Do you remember casually needing ice cream, studying, income tax, online? Someone who's supplying online, someone who's supplying interstate, someone who's supplying services except marginal services, restaurant services, someone who's manufacturing prohibited goods like PETA, someone who's supplying non-taxable goods of Schedule 3, and someone who's a CTP, NRTP cannot, and that's your 5 marks, guys. Next, Mr. Zafar is in Assam, provides the following information for the year 18-19. You're required to find out whether he can opt for composition scheme. Let's find out aggregate turnover of Zafar, guys. Please tell me aggregate turnover includes everything outward except 4 things. Do you remember the 4 things? IIGN. Let's check. Value of taxable outward supplies. Out of this 10 lakh was interstate, guys. Will I take this entire 50? Yes, you will take the entire 50, guys. But what if this is interstate sale, guys? Even to the moon you will take. Next, value of exempt supply. Out of this 30 lakh is interest, so 30 lakh I will not take, but the remaining 40 will I take? Yes, but it's exempt still, guys. You will take unless it is non-taxable Schedule 3. Value of inward supplies. Do we take inward supplies, guys? No. Value of exports. Will you take exports? Yes, everything that is outward. What if there was petrol here? Will you take petrol also, guys? Yes, you will take petrol also. So 50 plus 40 plus 5, what is it? 95 lakhs. And what is Assam's limit, guys? Lots of people here thought Assam is 75 lakh. Assam is not 75 lakh, guys. Excluding Assam, including Uttarakhand, so it's 1.5 crore here. So hence, will he take registration? No, he does not require. Can he take up the composition scheme? Yes, he can take up the composition scheme. Perfect. Looking at the next question. Explain in brief the conditions to be fulfilled by a registered person under GST law for availing the option to pay concessional tax at 3% under the provision of section 10(2)(a). Guys, first it has to be a service provider. Next, what should the aggregate turnover be? The aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year should be maximum 50 lakhs. And what are the things they can't do? Casually needing ice cream, studying you can do, income tax, online. This is another answer. This is another question, guys. So imagine the importance of this kind of question. Check, check, check. This is the next 4-mark question. Let's do this. In the following independent cases, decide who is liable to pay GST. You may assume these are all exam questions, guys. Please understand, not mine, not ICM modules. This is exam question. We transport a goods transport agency. Ignore aggregate turnover and ignore exemptions. We transport a registered goods transport agency paying IGST 12%. Guys, the moment you see 12%, who is liable to pay, guys? You don't even have to read the sum. Who is liable to pay? We transport will pay. Is this high? Yes. But what's the benefit of this, guys? You can take ITC. Next, Kamal Jain is an unregistered famous author. Received 20 lakh of consideration from PQR publication. Guys, is an author and he's getting 20 lakhs. Who will generally pay? guys, the publishing company will pay under RCM. But does the author have an option of FCM? Yes, but he has to register, he has to intimate, and he has to stick to that option for 1 year. Same question here, guys. Imagine Jan 21 repeats the question of November 20. Mr. Anurag, a famous author, is engaged in supply of services to a publisher. Explain in brief the conditions under which the author can choose to pay tax under FCM. So for 5 marks, first you have to say that this service is generally under RCM. However, if the author wants, can he choose FCM? Yes, but there are 3 conditions. You know the 3 conditions already. Guys, here again, charge of GST. Again, July 21, very recent, guys. 5 marks. Let's see if you can get it right. Guys, in this, one thing you'll have to ignore, everything else you'll know. P Limited is a registered person, provided the following information for the month of October 2020. GST is payable on reverse charge under GTA Services. Explain the meaning of aggregate turnover. Guys, what is aggregate turnover? Aggregate turnover is the turnover of all outward supplies except the following: I, G, N. So do you know the definition of aggregate turnover? Yes. Now let's compute the aggregate turnover for the month of October. All amounts are exclusive of GST. Let's see, guys, what all you will include in the aggregate turnover. Intrastate outward supply, will you include this? Yes. Interstate exempt outward supply, will you include this? Yes. Turnover of export goods, will you include this? Yes. Payment of IGST, will you include GST? No. Payment of CGST and SGST, we will include this? No. Payment of customs duty on export. Guys, on export, whatever you pay, this is customs duty. Only GST you don't have to include. IGN. So will you include this? Yes. And payment made for availing GTA services. Guys, is this inward services? Guys, when do you pay? When you are receiving inward. Is inward to be included? No. So 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 40. Lots of people will get this wrong. I promise you. Even the people who are replying here, most of them will get it wrong because they will not focus on what all you have to include and what not. Guys, they will not always say inward. But if you make payment, doesn't mean that it's inward. Yes. But even if it's on reverse charge, doesn't matter. Inward is inward. Doesn't matter, guys. Inward means someone coming to your house. Please tell me, when you go out of your house, is it outward? When guests come into your house, is it inward? Yes, so you know what is outward, inward, guys. Don't get confused. So 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus 20, 32, 32 lakh 40,000 is the answer here. This is aggregate turnover. If you stick to the rule, you will get the answers. Guys, the due date for payment of tax by a person under composition scheme. This we have not done because we have not done the returns chapter yet. This and this we will come back to. Let's do the last question, guys. Mr. Priyam, a director of Sun Moon Company Private Limited, provides services to a company for remuneration of 1,25,000. Briefly answer whether GST is applicable on the below mentioned independent cases. If yes, so who is liable to pay GST? Mr. Priyam is an independent director of Sun Moon and is not an employee. So then if he is not an employee, guys, this 1,25,000, is it salary? No, it is not salary. Then is it GST, subject to GST? Yes. And who will pay, guys? RCM. So Sun Moon will pay. But what if Mr. Priyam is an executive director? That means he works for the company. Executive means someone who works. He is an employee of Sun Moon, and out of the total remuneration of 1,25,000, 60,000 has been declared as salaries. Then on 60,000, guys, will there be any GST? No. Which schedule told you that? Schedule 3. Declared as salary in the books and subject to TDS doesn't matter, guys. All this is only given to confuse you. Whereas the remaining 65,000 is other than salary, guys. On this, will there be GST? Yes. Who will pay it? Sun Moon will pay it. Good answers, guys. Very, very good answer. With that, we complete one more chapter. What I'm going to do here is going to take a 2-minute break, 3-minute break, come back, and we'll dive into the next chapter, which is called registration. Watch out. Lots of things happening today. Guys, here we completed a very, very important chapter called charge of GST. We'll look at registration and then we'll look at time of supply, and in between our best friend exemptions will be done. It's 1:20, 1:23. We'll be back. Thank you. Any questions? Drop it in the chat box. Thank you, guys. Yes, guys, and we are back. Guys, do let me know if there's anything you want me to do. Once we finish, if time permits, we'll definitely also practice a couple of exam questions. I'll show you how to write it. We can take some MTP questions and do that as well. But right now, guys, I am in the complete mood to start the next chapter, which is called registration. Alright, so here we go. Everyone, please tell me, can we move ahead? Give me a thumbs up, guys. Can we move ahead to the next chapter, the registration chapter? Yes, no, maybe, yes, everyone. Perfect. Alright, guys, this is what happens at CA inter level. You start very enthusiastically and you lose enthusiasm, you filter yourself out. And that's what ICAI wants, guys. They want you to filter yourself out, but don't filter yourself out. Be a little motivated and let's see this through. Perfect. Guys, we're now looking, guys, out of 40 marks in GST, your 12 marks come out of MCQs, and these, the stronger your concepts will be, the better your MCQs will go. So these don't require any presentation. The remaining 28 marks, of course, do require presentation. Your handwriting should be good, your section should be well written, your answers should be good. I'll show you how that has to be done as well once we finish the entire portion. But right now, all I want to do is complete the concepts and look at as many questions, because guys, these are two places where we miss out. We don't look at the module or the ICAI material because for many people it scares them. And second, we don't look at examination questions at one go. So that's what my intention is, to do those as well. All right. Guys, while we start the registration chapter, I want to discuss a few definitions with you. I think most of you understand those definitions, but let's still discuss those definitions before we start. Guys, here, do you know what is an e-commerce operator, guys? Anyone who owns, manages or runs an e-commerce website like Flipkart is an e-commerce operator. Do you know who is a casual taxable person? Yes. Do you know who is a non-resident taxable person? Any example of NRTP, guys, in India in that exhibition? Tesla. 5 countries, do you remember? And how many days did the exhibition run for? 27 days. Next, do you know who's an agriculturist, guys? Any other word for agriculturist? A farmer. But please tell me, can a company be a farmer? Can Reliance Industries tomorrow say that I'm a farmer? No. Agriculture is only individuals or HUF. Next, there are 3 people who we will see only at CA final level. So you don't have to be bothered about these 3 people. Who are these 3 people? First, people who deduct TDS and people who collect TCS. These terms will come across, but don't worry, this is only a CA final concept. So people who deduct TDS and TCS, when will we discuss this? CA final. Right now my current CA final batch is gone and we discussed this entire chapter, and such a small chapter, only 1 hour it took to do the entire chapter. Next, guys, there is something called input service distributor. Guys, what if you call for extra pizzas for a house party and you can't eat it? What do? Do you distribute those pizzas? Yes. Same way, when you have some GST ITC which you can't use, can you distribute it? Yes. Again, CA final will you see. And last, guys, please tell me, does Google, Facebook, Instagram, do they all provide us advertising services? Yes. Do you see sponsored ads? Yes. So those services are given by companies who are called Online Information Database Access and Retrieval Service Provider, OIDAR. You don't even need to know the full form, guys, for CA Inter. These 3 will be dealt only at what level, guys? At CA final level. Do you know what is an agent? Yes, an agent is someone who issues an invoice. We yet have to discuss something called Del Cater agent, but we'll discuss that very soon. Next, do we know what are handicraft goods, guys? Yes, handicraft goods are those which are made by hand, generally by hand. Next, anything else? That's about it. For registration chapter, I think this should be the good point to start. So let's start the first section in registration and the first concept in registration. Please tell me, your tuition teacher, she did not register under GST. But Unacademy, guys, is registered under GST. So what are the advantages or what are the disadvantages also of registration? Please tell me, when electric bike company is registered under GST, guys, what are the disadvantages? Do they have to issue an invoice and do they have to charge GST on their bikes? Yes. Does it make the bikes more expensive? Yes. But what is the advantage, guys? Can they take credit of ITC? Yes. So that is a disadvantage and this is an advantage. So this is it. Guys, what if we are not registered? Like your tuition teacher was not registered, then can we charge GST? No, we can't charge GST. So only if you are registered you can charge GST, and only if you are registered you can take ITC. Alright. So registration chapter, guys, is divided into 2 parts. The first part answers the question that should one register or not, and the second part tells you how to register, how to cancel the registration, etc. So let's discuss the first part of this chapter, and let's discuss the first section, section 24, which talks about compulsory registration. Guys, compulsory registration means, do you need compulsory registration? That means, do you check anything else? No, guys. Compulsory registration is like your birth certificate. Please tell me, is your birth certificate compulsory? Yes. But your driving license, guys, when you are born, do you make a driving license? No, that is only when you turn 16, 18, etc. So same way, guys, this is compulsory registration. You don't check anything. This is like your birth certificate. And what is the shortcut for who all need compulsory registration? Here is a shortcut, guys. Ensure compulsory registration is needed. So you are telling a person that please ensure compulsory registration is needed, and this person's name is Tonai. It used to be Tony till the government changed the law, GST law, so now it's Tonai. So ensure compulsory registration is needed, Tonai. Let's see who are these people, guys. First, if you are an e-commerce operator, guys, do you know who is an e-commerce operator? Yes. If you are an e-commerce operator, or if you are selling goods on an e-commerce operator, then you have to be compulsory registered. Yes, you have to be compulsory registered. So please tell me, guys, is Flipkart, is Amazon, is Snapdeal, is Myntra compulsory registered? And what if tomorrow you start selling electric bikes on Flipkart? Will you have to be compulsory registered? Yes. Next, casual taxable person will have to be compulsory registered. Do you know the Delhi exhibition? And do you know we went to Delhi to participate in that exhibition? Do we have to be compulsory registered in Delhi also? Yes, that is casual taxable person. With that, it's also non-resident taxable person. I'm writing that also here only. Non-resident taxable person. Guys, do you remember Tesla coming from abroad to Delhi? Yes or no, guys? Do you remember? And will they have to also register? Yes, compulsory registration. Guys, for these people, they don't even have to think. They have to just register. Next, third. Guys, if you are receiving something under RCM, if you are receiving something which is taxable under RCM, then are you supposed to pay GST to the government? Yes, the government is expecting you to pay. And how will you pay, guys? You have to register. Guys, can you download a Paytm app without having a smartphone? No. Same way, can you pay GST without being registered? No. So RCM, if you are receiving under RCM, then you need to be compulsory registered. Next, guys, something that will be at CA final, input service distributor. Do they have to be registered compulsory? Yes. So 5 done, next 5 to go. Again, CA final concept. TDS, TCS people, do they have to register compulsory? Yes. OIDAR, do they have to register compulsory? Yes. Any notified person, guys, if the government tomorrow says that listen, all education institutions should be registered, can they notify them? Yes. So any notified person also has to be registered. Till now no one has been notified, but the government can notify anyone. Next, agent, guys, do you know who's an agent under GST? What is that one requirement for an agent to be called as an agent under GST, guys? Invoice, excellent Rakesh, good Vaishnavi, good Dhruti. Guys, the invoice has to be registered, the agent has to be issuing his own invoice. Does the agent have to be compulsory registered? Yes, but one condition, guys, only if the principal is also registered. That means, guys, what if this is a principal and this is an agent, and the principal is not registered, then will the agent have to be compulsory registered? No. But what if the principal is registered, guys? Then the agent also has to be compulsory registered. Basically, any agent of a taxable person or any agent of a registered person also has to be registered. And last, which is the most important one, in India, maximum people take registration because of the last one. What is the last one? If you are making interstate supply. Guys, if I am in Maharashtra and if I am supplying to Gujarat, is that interstate supply? Yes. Even if I am supplying one bike interstate, will I have to be compulsory registered? Yes. But there are 2 exceptions to it, which we will see very soon. So guys, let's quickly do a recap. This is very important. If your neighbor comes to you and says, listen, I want to know whether I should be registered or not under GST, which is the first section you will check. Guys, the first section you will check is section 24. And in that first section, guys, what is the shortcut? Please tell me, guys, be my guest, please tell me here, what is the shortcut? Ensure compulsory registration is needed. And whom are you telling this to? You're telling this to a person who's called Tonai. Let's go backwards, guys. This is the main thing. What is this? Interstate supplier. Are there two exceptions? Yes, we'll discuss them soon. Who is this A, guys? Use the chat box and tell me who is this A. Agent of which person? Taxable person. What is N? Any notified person. What is O? CA final OIDAR. What is T? CA final TDS TCS. What is this N? NRTP. What is this I? Input CS, this one and this one CA final input service distributor. Any RCM recipient, if you are receiving under RCM, you got to pay, and for that you got to be registered. Any CTP and any e-commerce operator or anyone selling goods on an e-commerce operator, these need to be compulsory registered. Alright, so this is the first thing you will check. Guys, once you've checked this, let's say your neighbor is a CA and he comes to you whether she should get registered. You will check this list, and if it's registered under this, he'll have to register. Otherwise, you will check the next section, which is section 22. So which one will you check first, guys? First 24. If 24 says that you should not register, then check for 22. Section 22 says that you will register if you cross a certain turnover. So this is turnover based registration. Now what is the first turnover limit, guys? The first turnover limit is you will register only if you cross a turnover of 40 lakhs. Yes, guys, you will cross a turnover of 40 lakhs, only then you register. But for that, you have to love an animal called pigs. What does this mean? That this limit of 40 lakhs, that means, guys, if I sell in the year 28 lakhs, will I have to register? No, my limit is 40 lakh. But who gets this 40 lakh limit, guys? Whoever loves the animal called pigs. First, you should not be dealing in prohibited goods. Guys, can you remember the shortcut for prohibited goods? What were the 4 prohibited goods? Pita or Pati. Next, so you should not be dealing in them. That means, can I manufacture them or trade? No, guys, you can't even touch them. You can only eat ice cream. You cannot be trading or manufacturing, nothing. You cannot be doing interstate. Guys, that means, can Maharashtra supply to Gujarat? No. But what if I am in Maharashtra and what if I have another entity in Gujarat? That's okay, as long as both of them are only supplying intrastate. Guys, repeat, many people feel if I have one entity in Maharashtra and one entity in Gujarat, they assume I'm doing interstate, but it's not right, because Maharashtra can only supply within Maharashtra and Gujarat can only supply within Gujarat as well. Next, you should be only supplying goods, no services, only goods. And you should not be in some states, guys. Which states you should not be in? You should not be in some states. Which states, guys? I'll tell you here. You should not be in NT Mami. What is NT Mami? Nagaland, Tripura, Manipur, Mizoram. You should not be in these 4 states. NT Mami. All these shortcuts are there in the quick book. Don't worry, guys. You should not be in NT Mami. Also, you should not be in Put Sam. These states are small. They don't get 40 lakh limit. What is Put Sam? Put Sam, P is under down south, Puducherry. U is up north, Uttarakhand. Telangana is down south again. So Puducherry down south, Uttarakhand up north, Telangana down south again. And Sam is in the northeast, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya. You should not be in these states. Yes, only then you get a 40 lakh rupee limit. That means if my turnover is 28 lakhs, do I have to register? No, because you get a 40 lakh rupee limit. Only if you like which animal, guys, please repeat in the chat box. Which animal should you like? You should be liking pigs. What is PRIGS? No prohibited dealing or manufacturing, no interstate, only goods, and you should not be in some states. Which states, guys? NT, MAMI and Put Sam. NT, MAMI, guys, can you know, and do you know any of the states in NT, MAMI? Can you tell me in the chat box any state from NT, MAMI? Nagaland, Tripura, Manipur, Mizoram. And any state from Put Sam, guys? Any state from Put Sam. Puducherry, yes. And where is Sam? Sam is in the northeast, guys. Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya. Alright. Puducherry down south, Uttarakhand up north, Telangana down south again. Guys, this will get 40 lakhs. Guys, if you don't fulfill 40 lakh limit, example, a CA firm, can they go to 40 lakh limit, guys? No, because they are giving services. So then what is the second step, guys? Who can go to 20 lakhs? Sorry, the second step, my bad, is 10 lakhs. A very small limit of 10 lakhs if you are in one of the small states of NT, MAMI. So if you're in Nagaland, Tripura, Manipur, Mizoram, what is the threshold limit, guys, after which you have to register? A very small limit for small states, that is 10 lakhs. Guys, what if I have one entity in Maharashtra and one in Manipur? Then what will be my limit? The limit will be 10 lakhs. And guys, what if I'm not in NT, MAMI? I'm a CA firm, so 40 lakhs does not apply to me. I'm not in NT, MAMI, then which limit will apply to me, guys? The default is the step number 3, 20 lakhs. We have some amazing questions waiting for us here, but please tell me without looking, guys, what are the 3 limits? 40 lakhs? If not 40 lakh, then 10 lakhs? If not 10 lakh, what is the default limit? 20 lakhs. All these 3 limits are given in which section? Section 22. This one is a notification, guys. This 40 lakh is a notification number 10 of 2019. Alright. Now please tell me this turnover which I need to calculate, whether it's 20 lakh, 25 lakh, guys, is it one pan, one turnover? Please tell me, guys, is it one pan, one turnover? So if I have 3 entities, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, 5 lakh, 5 lakh, 5 lakh, what is my aggregate turnover, guys? My aggregate turnover is 15 lakhs. One pan, one turnover, not entity wise. And guys, what if this is 15 lakh, 15 lakh, 15 lakh, what is my aggregate turnover? 45 lakhs. Will I have to register? Yes. Do I have to register in all the 3 or can I escape one of them? No. One pan, one turnover, one scheme. That means I have to register under all of them. Yes. But what if Rajasthan is only selling petrol and diesel? That means in Rajasthan I only have a petrol pump. Then you don't need to register here. Will it be included in aggregate turnover? Please answer, guys. Will petrol be included in aggregate turnover? Yes. But will you have to register here? No, because you are selling petrol. Why do you need to register? Alright. So one pan, one turnover. Aggregate turnover includes everything. Perfect. Perfect, guys. Next. Guys, what if electric bike company is registered but they get sold to a new company called Hero Honda Electric? Guys, will Hero Honda Electric continue with the same registration? No, guys. Registration is based on PAN. So is the PAN number changing? Yes, if the PAN number changes, your registration also has to be new. This is something that you should know. So 22 done, 24 done, 2 sections done. Very, very important sections, guys. 2 sections done. So tomorrow if your neighbor comes to you saying that I want to get registered or not, which section will you check first, guys? You will check section 24. And if that is not applicable, will you check 22? Yes. For 24, do you require turnover? No. For 24 do you require turnover? No. But for 22 do you require turnover? Yes. One pan, one turnover. And you know what is aggregate turnover here also, guys? Everything outward except IIGN. Perfect. Guys, your neighbor is a farmer. Let's say your neighbor or your friend is a farmer who comes to you and says, listen, I'm growing potatoes and I'm selling potatoes. Guys, first you will check section 24, that does not apply. And section 22, maybe he sells potatoes more than 40 lakhs, so will he register? Yes. But he feels very bad and he complains to the government that, listen, I'm a farmer, how can you put me under GST? So the government has created a section called section 23. These are those people which do not need to register, no registration required. So guys, did the government hear the agriculturist, farmer? Yes. The government hears them, that's a shortcut, guys. These 5 people will not be required to register under GST. Let's start with the first one in the middle, agriculturist. Guys, if you're an agriculturist, that means individual or an HUF, and you're cultivating and selling, we've not done the exemption yet, but do you think humanity wise or hard work wise, do you think there should be GST on this? No. So hence, do they need to register? No registration. What if their turnover is 45 lakh or 4.5 crore? Doesn't matter. No registration required here. Alright. Next. Guys, what if you're only making exempt supply? Only exempt, guys. Exempt has 3 N's. Any of these, like a doctor. Is a doctor making exempt supply? Yes. Guys, will he have to register? No, he does not have to register. And what if all your services are taxable under RCM? That means you're an RCM supplier, guys. Example, lawyer. Will the lawyer have to register? No. So A for agriculturist, E for exempt supply, R for RCM supplier. They don't have to register. No. What if the doctor's turnover is 2 crores? Still he doesn't have to register. And the next two, H. Guys, what if you are supplier of handicraft goods? Does the government like handicraft, guys? Do they want to encourage handicrafts? Do they want it to become more expensive? No. So if you are a handicraft goods supplier, handicraft means mainly made by hand, not machines. Little bit machine is okay. But if you are a handicraft supplier, then you don't need to register, but only up to 20 lakhs. This benefit is there. That means what if your turnover is 22 lakhs? Then you'll have to check. Guys, what if your turnover is 18 lakh? Then you don't have to register. Guys, handicraft supplier does not have to register up to 20 lakhs, even if it's interstate, even if it's as a casual taxable person. Guys, let me explain this slightly better in a slightly different manner. Guys, you're a handicraft supplier. You make wooden toys. Does the government want your toys to be expensive? They say no, you don't have to register. But what if he makes interstate supply, guys? Is interstate compulsory registered? Please check here, guys. Is interstate compulsory registration required? Yes, but there's an exception for handicraft goods, guys. They don't have to be compulsory registered, even if they're doing interstate up to 20 lakhs. And what if these wooden toys are being sold on Flipkart? Guys, please tell me, seller of goods on e-commerce operators, are you compulsory required to register? Yes, but not handicraft goods, even if they are selling online, but again up to 20 lakhs. So please tell me, as a handicraft supplier, do you have to register? No. What if you are selling interstate? Still you don't have to. Up to how much lakhs, guys? 20. What if you are selling online? Still you don't have to. But what if I sell these bottles, guys, online? Will I have to register? Compulsory. What if I'm selling these bottles online interstate? Compulsory. But only for handicraft this exception is there. Up to how many lakhs, guys? Up to 20 lakhs. This is difficult. Watch out. And last, service provider. Are you a service provider like a CA firm? Yes. Even you don't have to register up to 20 lakhs. Whether you supply interstate, that means my CA firm from Mumbai, can it supply services to Bangalore, guys? Yes. Even interstate. But guys, shouldn't interstate be compulsory registration? Yes, but they have a second exception which says service providers, even if you're selling interstate up to 20 lakhs, no problem. Even if you're selling up to 20 lakhs online, no problem. So I'm giving you examples. You tell me, guys, a farmer is growing tomatoes and selling worth 50 lakh rupees. Does he have to register? No. A doctor during COVID had a turnover of 65 lakh rupees from his patients. Does he have to register? No. A lawyer is only under RCM and has supplied services worth 62 lakhs rupees. Do they have to register? No. A handicraft supplier is going to an exhibition in Delhi and supplying goods worth 22 lakhs. Does he have to register? Yes. But what if this is only 18 lakhs? Then no. And a CA firm, an event management company, a tailor, a salon are providing services up to 20 lakh. Do they have to register? No. What if they are doing interstate? Still no. What if they are doing online? Still no. But what is the limit for the last two people, guys? 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs. Guys, this completes the first part of registration, which is who is required to register. So which are the three sections you will check whenever someone tells you that am I supposed to register or not? You will check section 24 first, then you will check 22 next, and then you will check 23 after that. In real life, I do the same, guys. Whenever a client comes to me, let's say, guys, let's take an example. A makeup artist came to me and said, listen, I'm a very famous makeup artist. Do I need to register? Guys, which section will I check first? 24. Is the makeup artist an e-commerce operator? No. Is it a casual taxable person? No. Is it an RCM recipient? No. Is it an input service distributor? No. Is it NRTP? No. Is it TDS, TCS? No. Is it OIDAR? No. Is it notified? No. Is it an agent? No. And is it doing interstate? They said yes, I do interstate also, but up to 5 lakhs. Guys, then this will not apply. Then section 22, guys, I'll check her turnover. Her turnover is 7 lakhs right now. Will she be applicable 40 lakhs? No, because that is only for goods. Is she an NT Mami? No. Then what is the limit, guys? 20 lakhs. And has she crossed 20 lakhs? No, she does not have to register. So this is how you will check for anyone from tomorrow onwards. Anyone comes to you and says, should I get registered? Check these sections and you'll get your answer. Now let's move ahead to the next part. How do we need to register? Section 25. Just 1 second, guys, and I'll be back. Hello? Yeah. Jackie, I'm so sorry. I'm actually in some crash course that is happening. And then there's over at 8:30. So can you call me like at 8:45 or something? Yeah, thank you. Yes, guys, back. Now, once you need to register, section 25 tells you what is the procedure, etc. So listen carefully, guys. In GST, we don't have any centralized registration. We have state-wise registration. That means, guys, what if you are in 5 different states? then will you require 5 different registrations? Yes. What if in one state you are having a petrol pump? Then don't register in that state, but otherwise everywhere where you're making taxable supplies, you need state-wise registration. What if in the same state you have 3 entities but in the same state? Can they work under one registration only? Yes. But what if you divide? Then you have to divide all of them through different registrations. So either it's all together or all separate in the same state. So is that same state voluntary? Yes, you have to decide whether you want them all together or all separate. What if you have an SEZ unit? Guys, SEZ unit always will require compulsory registration. So what if you have one unit in Maharashtra, one in Gujarat and another in Gujarat which is in an SEZ? How many registrations will you want or will you have? You should need 3. What if this Gujarat is not SEZ? Then how many can you want or how many can you have? 2. But can I separate Gujarat? So can I have 3 also? Yes, that decision is voluntary. Next. Guys, what if I'm not required to register? Can I voluntarily register? But what is the drawback of voluntary registration? That for every supply will I have to charge GST? Yes. But what is the benefit of voluntary registration, guys? Can I start taking ITC? Yes. Every time I buy a mobile phone or a laptop, can I take credit? Yes. Guys, what if I have 3 entities, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tripura, all 3 of them are registered? Can I call them as deemed distinct persons? Yes. Next. Guys, what is that one document or one number which is always required to be registered under GST? That one number is called PAN. PAN is always required. It's the foundation of your GST registration, except non-resident taxable person. Guys, do you think Tesla will come to India and apply for a PAN? No. So that's an exception. We will talk about more in another section ahead. Next. Now guys, with PAN, do we also need an Aadhaar number to authenticate ourselves because GST frauds are increasing? So do they want to know the Aadhaar details also of the person who is running their company? Yes. Guys, do we need to update our bank details at the time of registration? Yes guys, because a lot of payment will come into the bank, go from the bank. But what if my current account is taking some time to open up? Then don't worry, you can update the bank details up to 45 days from the date you register. So do we have some time here? Yes, there's a rule called Rule 10A which says you have up to 45 days to update bank details. Next. Guys, what if I don't register only? I cross the turnover of 40 lakhs but I don't register. Guys, is that wrong? Yes. So can the government officer, GST officer, suo motu register me? Yes, the GST officer can suo motu register me, and after that, if I feel no, I should not be registered, I am making only exempt supply, etc., I can appeal against this. Yes. And if I feel, can I confirm this registration? Yes. Next. Guys, there are some people which are very important for a country like India, like embassies, consulates and United Nations offices. Please tell me guys, embassies, consulates and UN offices, are they important for a country like India? Yes. When they make supplies, they are exempted. This is another exemption that we learned today, guys. They are exempted when they make supplies. But when they buy AC, will they end up paying GST? Yes. But how will they get the credit back? Government will not give them credit, but they are very important people. So the government says, don't worry, what you do is you apply for a unique identity number. UIN is not GST registration, guys. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to register under GST. You just get a unique identity number, and that unique identity number will help you get a refund of this GST that you paid. So please tell me guys, can a CA firm get a UIN? Can an academy get a UIN? No. But can an embassy get a UIN? And what is the main advantage of a UIN? To get a refund. And last guys, once you get the GST registration number and certificate, you have to print it and place it at the main place of business. Yes. And also at every additional place of business. Yes. If you've seen shops outside the shop, guys, have you seen GST numbers? Yes. So you have to basically display it everywhere at a prominent location. I'm not getting the replies. I want more replies, guys. Will you display it everywhere at prominent locations? Yes. Guys, what if in Mumbai I have 3 shops? This is all in Maharashtra only. I have 3 shops. Guys, can I work under one registration only? Yes. So one of them will be called as my principal place of business, and the others will be called as my additional place of business. Who decides this? You only decide this. Principal place of business and additional place of business. But this is only when there are a number of entities in the same state under the same PAN, under the same registration. Next. Guys, how do you get registered? Do you have to go to the portal? Yes, but I have a shortcut, guys. There is a hotline number which you can dial to get registered. The hotline number is 777. Why is it the hotline number, guys? Actually, there's nothing like this, but there's a shortcut that once you apply for registration, the GST officer should ask you any details that he wants. Let's say he wants some address proof, etc. He has to ask you within 7 days. He has to ask you for any details. What if he does not ask for any details and he does not do anything for 7 days? Then good for you, deemed registration. Anyways, so please tell me, guys, how many days does he have to ask you details once you apply for registration? 7 days. After that, how many days do you have to reply to that? You also have 7 days to reply. And after he gets your reply, can he ask you more questions? No. So does he have to accept or reject it within how many days? 7 days. That's why 777. But please tell me, what if he does not ask in 7 days anything? Deemed acceptance. What if you don't reply in 7 days? Deemed cancellation. What if he does not reply again in 7 days? Deemed acceptance. Basically, if he doesn't do something, then we get accepted automatically. If we don't do something, we get cancelled automatically. And guys, if you don't give your Aadhaar, will they take more time to check you? Yes, so the hotline number becomes 377. So if you don't give your Aadhaar, they will get 30 days to ask you for any details. This is punishment for not giving Aadhaar. Guys, when you register, will he come to your office and check your office physically? Guys, physical verification is only discretionary. It's not compulsory. In my case, he did not come. In most of my clients' cases, they have not come and checked physically. But can they check physically? Yes, they can. It is discretionary. Discretionary means the GST officer will decide. Alright, we are already coming to an end of this section, section 25. Let me slide to the next concept in section 25. Guys, today 5th of August, you were liable for registration. You crossed the limit of 40 lakhs. Guys, you are very proactive. Within 30 days, the government says you should apply within 30 days, and within 30 days, that is on 14th of August, you applied online for, this is called date of application. You applied for registration. This is called date of liability. This is when you became liable to register. And the government on 22nd August, congratulations, you got your registration. This is your registration. Now please tell me, when did you get to know your GST number, guys? Or when will you get to know your GST number? On the 22nd of August. When will you be able to charge GST from 22nd August, and when will you be able to take ITC from 22nd August? But the government says that you have been very proactive. Did you apply within 30 days? Yes. So as a reward, we will not give you 22nd August, but we will give you 5th August as your effective date. So any purchases that you make between this date, will you get ITC? Yes, that's a reward. But indirectly, guys, the government is trying to tell you that any supplies made during this part will also be subject to GST. The government is very smart, guys. But I'm looking at the positive side. Guys, What is the effective date in this case? The effective date is 5th August. Guys, when do you get this effective date? Only when you apply within 30 days and if you are liable to register. Guys, what if on the 5th of August I was liable but I applied on the 10th of September? Am I proactive? No. So what if I get registered on 15th September? Now what is my effective date? Effective date is 15th September. Guys, generally always effective date is the date you get the registration, except when you are proactive. Guys, forget these. I was never liable to register. Today I just decided to apply for registration just like that. On the 5th August I applied. I got the registration on 12th August. Please tell me, what is my effective date of registration? My effective date is 12th August. Because I was not liable. Only when you are liable to register and you register in 30 days, then you get an earlier date. Guys, are we clear? This could be a good question. Guys, this is an effective date. Please tell me in the chat box, guys, do you get an earlier effective date? And what are the conditions to get earlier effective date, guys? First, you should be liable to register and you have to be proactive. Proactive means how many days, guys? You have to apply within 30 days of becoming liable. Then they can give you the registration whenever they want, but the effective date will be the old date. So guys, in this period, will I get ITC? Yes. So give and take, guys, will I also have to pay GST for the supplies made during this period? Yes. But guys, any supplies made during this period, did I have my GST number? No. So then what do I have to do? I have to go back, issue revised invoices, which we will see in a chapter called invoice. I have to issue revised invoices within a period of 30 days after I get my registration. And now is give and take established, guys? Yes, give and take is established. Alright. Guys, this is section 25. Let me just check if everything is covered here. As GST number is 15 digits. These kind of questions never asked in the exam. Alright. Next. Guys, are we all in this together at CA Inter? Are all the faculties who are going to take the fast track course, are they with you to help you clear? Yes. So same way, guys, in GST also we are in this together. What do I mean? It's a very simple section. What does this together mean? It says that if you get registered under CGST, will you also have to register under S and I and GST compensation says no. If you are registered under one act, you are assumed to be registered under all acts. Same way, guys, if your registration is cancelled or rejected under one, it is assumed that it's cancelled or rejected for all. So please tell me, do you understand what is this together? Section 26, this is together. Perfect. Let's go to the next section, which is section 27. Guys, do you remember how many days was the Delhi exhibition? 27 days. This is the reason why it was 27 days. Here we go. Guys, this is the Delhi exhibition, obviously happening in Delhi. This is you, EBC. You are registered in Maharashtra. But guys, do you want to go there, set up a stall there, and from there sell? Yes. And does Tesla also want to come to that exhibition? Yes. So who will you be called there? You will be called a casual taxable person. And who will Tesla be called there? Tesla will be called a non-resident taxable person. This section deals with CTP and NRTP and their registration. Guys, do they require compulsory registration? Please tell me, you already know it. Do they require compulsory registration? Yes. But guys, they don't have 30 days to apply once they become liable. They have to apply in advance. Guys, they have to get their registration 5 days in advance. So if the exhibition is starting, they need to get their registration 5 days in advance. Next. Guys, can they disappear after the exhibition is over? Can he go to the US? Can you come back to Maharashtra? And guys, who will pay the Delhi CGST and SGST then? So hence, they not only ask you to register in advance, you also have to pay the GST in advance. You have to estimate how much will you sell, and based on that estimate, you have to pay GST in advance. But what if you paid extra? Guys, can you take a refund? Yes, you can file your return and take a refund. And what if you paid less? You have to pay extra? Yes, you'll have to pay extra. And guys, watch out. How long can they be registered in Delhi? Can they be registered unlimited? No, they can be registered only up to A90. What is A90? The period they have applied for, or maximum 90 days. So what if they applied for 10 days? Then how long will the registration be valid? 10 days. What if they applied for 100 days? Then whichever is lower, guys, A90, whichever is lower, then 90 days. And guys, what if they want to extend it by another time? Can they extend this registration? Yes, again by A90. That means period applied for, or how many days, guys? 90, whichever is lower. So totally, guys, how many days can they be in Delhi registered? 90 plus 90, 180 maximum. What if this exhibition is going to be for 365 days? Then they have to take proper registration. They cannot take CTP registration. This is section 27. Let's recap, guys. Please tell me, section 27 is for whom? CTP and RTP. Do they require compulsory registration? Yes. How many days in advance do they require it, guys? They require the registration 5 days in advance. Do they have to pay the GST also in advance? Yes. Do they get the refund if they pay extra? Yes. And how long is the registration valid for? A90, period applied for, or 90 days, whichever is lower. How many extensions can they take? Only one. How many more days? Again A90. Perfect. Next, guys, don't worry, when we summarize, all the sections will come together, and when we do sums, you'll understand all of these very well. But till now we have seen 24, 22 and 23 for registration. Then we saw 25, how to register. 26 told us we are in this together, and 27 told us for CTP and RTP it's 27. Now looking at the next section, guys, already. Guys, does it happen that sometimes you need to change your passport because your address changes? Yes. Sometimes you need to change some things because you get married, let's say your surname changes. Yes. Same way, guys, can you change your GST registration? Yes. Section 28 says that yes, you can amend your registration. You can amend your registration. How do you do that? You go online and you amend it. But guys, so that you don't cheat the government, they say that some amendments require approval, and some amendments no approval. That means you can just go online, change it, get a new certificate, print it. Which are the ones which require approval? The shortcut is CAN. If there is a change in the constitution, like if admitted new partners or an old partner has gone out, if there is a change in the address, guys, can there be a change in the address, or can you have new addresses? Yes. Or if there is a change in the name, can you change from EBC to some EBHC? Yes. Then these three requires an approval. Yes, only if they approve it can you change it. So once it changes, you apply within 15 days, and within 7 days they will reply, and within 7 days you will reply. That is a hotline number, 1577. And other things guys, example, let's say you start selling petrol bikes or cars also, that you can change without approval. Everything else guys you can change without approval. If you are changing email address or mobile number, then in that case you don't need approval. No approval is needed. If you're changing, no approval is needed, but they will send an OTP and they will verify it. But guys, one thing cannot change in your GST registration number, and that is your PAN number. Your PAN number cannot change. If your PAN number changes, your registration will go out, it will go away. So PAN number cannot change. Let's recap guys. Can you change your registration? Or can you amend your registration? Yes. But some require approval. Can you tell me who require approval guys? Which things require approval? Can. Constitution, address and name. And the others guys, no approval required. Email and telephone number OTP verification will happen. And what about PAN number guys? What if I change my PAN? Sorry, you will require a fresh registration. Guys, this is a proprietorship firm of my father. After I became a CA, let's say I joined him and we made a partnership firm. Please tell me, will the PAN number change? Yes. So will I have to take a new registration? Yes. But guys, isn't that a problem? The proprietorship firm will have credit. Will the credit disappear? Yes, but we have a provision for that which we will learn ahead. Last two sections guys, and this chapter gets over. Next guys is a section called section 29, which is very dangerous. Guys, just like you applied for registration, can your registration be cancelled, or can you cancel your registration? Yes. There is a section called 29(1) in which you can voluntarily cancel your registration. Guys, why will you cancel your registration voluntarily? Please tell me, can you close down your business? Can you sell your business? Can the main person who was doing business be no more? Then in that case, can you voluntarily apply for cancellation? Yes. Will you go online to apply for it? Yes. Will you tell them that today is 5th of August, by 15th of August please cancel my registration? Yes. But guys, will you have to pay your liabilities till that date? Yes guys. Even if you are vacating a house, do you have to pay the last month's rent? Yes. Same way you will have to pay all your liabilities. And guys, what if some credit remains after that also? What will happen to the credit? Can you go to an ATM and can you remove it? No, the credit will lapse, the credit will expire. But guys, in India, do you think people will voluntarily cancel their registration and let their credit lapse? No, we live in a very different country guys. In India, first you buy a shirt, we wear for outside. Then that same shirt you start wearing at your friend's house, at home for tuitions. Then you start wearing that t-shirt at home. Then your mom will make it a wet cloth to wipe things. So in India we don't waste things. Same way guys, here we don't voluntarily register guys, unless voluntary cancel, unless we've used our credit completely. But sometimes you don't want to cancel your registration, but the officer is very angry. Can the officer cancel your registration? Yes, he can also cancel your registration. Let's see how he can cancel your registration. Watch out guys. If the officer feels that you can immediately commence 36 frauds, if he feels that you can immediately commence 36 frauds, this is a shortcut for the reasons where the GST officer may cancel your registration. What is C? If you have contravened any provisions, contravened basically means if you have violated any provisions of the GST law, guys, can it be a reason for him to cancel registration? Yes. If you are issuing invoice Perfectly fine, but you're not making any supply only. That means the fake invoices. Yes, can he cancel registration? Yes. If you've not commenced business for 6 months, then why did you even register? So they'll wait for 6 months. If you don't commence business for 6 months, they can cancel your registration. If you've not filed your returns for 3 periods or for 6 periods, 3 periods for composition scheme dealer and 6 periods for regular persons, we'll see in returns chapter how frequently you need to file returns. Then also the registration can be cancelled. Yes. And last, if you obtained your registration through any fraud, misrepresentation or suppression of facts, then can he cancel your registration? Yes. Guys, this was a 5-mark question. When can a GST officer cancel your registration? Can immediately commence 36 frauds. Contravention of the GST law, invoice without supply, not commencing business for how many months? In the chat box please. 6 months. Returns not filed for 3 periods or 6 periods. And if you obtain the registration through some fraud, misrepresentation or some suppression of facts, then he can cancel your registration. But why is such a big deal, guys? Because if he cancels the registration, guys, what happens to your ITC that you've taken over the years, which is still left in the credit ledger? It will disappear, guys. Imagine if they say, if you change your phone, your Paytm balance will go away. Is that a very dangerous thing? Yes, guys, that's a very dangerous thing. There are 3 more reasons, guys. Now they've added miss 99 ITC, but these 3 reasons we will do only once we finish a chapter called ITC. All right. Guys, will he surprise you by saying, surprise, your registration is cancelled? No, guys. He will issue you a notice saying, listen, you've not commenced your business, it's been 6 months. So he will issue you a show cause notice. Will you get an opportunity of explaining yourself, guys? Will you get an opportunity of being heard? Yes. And then finally he will decide whether he wants to cancel your registration. But cancellation is very, very dangerous. Alright. And with that, guys, we come to the last section, which is section 30. Guys, you did not want it, but your registration was cancelled. Will you like it, guys? No. So can you please beg him that please revive my registration? Yes. So you can apply for revocation of cancellation. Guys, you fought with your friend and he is not talking to you. Can you please tell your friend to talk to you again? Yes. But then in that case, guys, will you have to do everything which he wants you to do? Yes. Same way here also. You can apply for revocation within 30 days from the date of order of cancellation. But what if, guys, you miss out on this 30-day due date? Then earlier you could apply within extended 30 days or another extension of 30 days or another extension of 30 days. You would get so many extensions, yes, but now they've removed this. Now this period can be extended dependent upon the GST officer. He will decide how much he wants to give you extension. So here is it. Can you apply for revocation? Yes, within 30 days. That can be extended depending upon the GST officer. Yes. And guys, when you apply for revocation, will you have to do whatever you've done wrong? Will you have to correct the wrong? Yes. Specifically, if you've not filed your returns, you will now have to file your returns. But what if my registration is cancelled? How can I file my returns if my registration is cancelled? Don't worry. Once he revokes it, you have 30 days to file your return. And guys, once it's revoked, Will your electronic credit ledger again come back to life? And will your amount again reflect? Yes. Will your Paytm balance again come back? Yes. Guys, this is your registration chapter. Obviously, we've not done the sums, etc. So we'll come back and we'll continue. But right now, just trying to revise the sections. Actually, we'll come back and we'll revise. Just telling you, we've done all the sections from 22 to section 30. We haven't done exemptions today. We'll do that tomorrow. But right now, this is the chapter. Guys, any questions, any doubts, always reach out to me. Taking a 5-minute right now, actually taking a 35-minute right now. I'll see you guys now back at 6 o'clock. Thank you and see you. And any questions, I'm right here, guys. Thank you.